Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you haven't already hit the subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. So today's video, I'm going to be meal prepping for you guys. My husband has a pretty busy week coming up, so I'm going to go ahead and meal prep for him. And I figured like some people don't know how to meal prep, or they just like watching other people's meal prep so it can inspire their meal prep. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to show you what I'm going to be doing. So for his meal prep, I have some steak, I have some asparagus, and then I have zucchini along with rice. So I'm gonna go ahead and start cooking them now. So first you eat with my asparagus. Obviously keep your hands washed. I usually wash my hands like every couple minutes, just because you never know like what is going on in the kitchen. I usually cut the ends off of my asparagus. You don't have to, but that's just more of a personal preference. Asparagus, I usually like to use steak seasoning only because it tastes super good along with eating steak, so it seasons it really well. You should see the things we do, baby. For my pans, I usually use canola oil. I just have the Walmart brand. Good. Then we're going to go ahead and toss them in. And then I usually like to keep them on a medium heat until they actually start cooking and I can see some progress in their cooking. So next I have my zucchini. I go ahead and cut the tip off. And prior to cooking everything, go ahead and wash all your vegetables, and I usually like to rinse my meat off as well. So with this, I'm just gonna slice it. So with any kind of meat, when I first buy them, I usually just throw them right into the freezer, and then whenever I'm ready to use them, I take them out in the morning, and then by evening, evening time, they should be ready to thaw. So with this, again, I'm using the steak seasoning because it's steak, and that's just my favorite kind of seasoning for these. And I usually don't waste my time cutting my meats unless they're huge. Like chicken breasts, I usually get them pretty big, they're pretty thick. So my chicken breasts, I'll usually cut them just so that the meat, I'm making sure that the meat will cook all the way through. Sometimes when you cook the chicken breast just like that in the pan, it doesn't cook all the way through and it gets pretty like goopy, and it doesn't taste good. So with these steaks, you can tell that they're pretty flat and they're gonna cook all the way through. So I'm not gonna bother cutting these until the after they're done cooking, because during meal prep and you're weighing your meat, the density of them before you cook them and after you cook them are completely different, and they also shrink in size and all that good stuff. So I usually don't bother until after they're done cooking. So once I season them, I usually like to mush the seasoning in, just so that I know that it's going to be stuck in there. So then I'm going to flip the meat over and do the same thing on the other side so that it is equally seasoned. Ready to go. I have not washed my hands yet because I'm not done touching the meat, so I'm going to go ahead and put it on there. And I usually keep it on a medium heat, and I keep an eye on it until I can see it cooking thoroughly through, and then I move it down to a lower heat. Okay, so the steak is done, asparagus is done. I'm just waiting on the rice and the zucchini because rice always takes a little bit longer. I'm not a fan of using the crock pot or any of that because I don't have 4 hours to wait on stupid ass rice. Are you ready for gonna do is we're just gonna pour the steak into the containers. For my husband, like for myself, I measure my meat, so I have an exact amount. But for my husband, like he's not counting macros, he's not really doing any diet. He just wants me to meal prep so he has food ready for him since he will be busy next week. And here we have the asparagus already cooked.
Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? You should see the things we do. Are you ready for it?
Okay, so now the rice and the zucchini is ready. I usually put about half a cup because I have tried a cup before and that just seemed like way too much. So
Dreams. I know I'm gonna be with you, so I'll take my time. Are you ready for it? 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 Are you ready for
that is my meal prep. This is just lunch, but of course, whatever you guys are eating, go ahead and do the same thing for each meal. For my breakfast, I usually just have oatmeal and I have that in the cupboard, so I don't need to portion that out. But for my husband who's on the go and who has a busy job, like I go ahead and I do this. So I hope you guys liked it. Go ahead and like my channel.
You should see the things